Hey Srirupa, welcome to Just Like That.
Hello, thank you. Nice to
Great.
be
So,
here.
no, nice to have you as well because, like we were talking, the year gone by has been such a difficult year for so many of us. And while many couldn't really go out, some of us used the time to go within. And as we went within, some of us found great amount of strength, and some of us felt equally lost. So different strokes for different folks. But you've been doing a lot of work in this space of creating and finding inner strength. So why don't you tell us more of how does one really go about finding inner strength without being dependent on people, but finding answers that more often than not lie within?
Okay, firstly, thank you. Just like that seems to be a really nice platform. We keep saying JLT all the time, and it's a very interesting place to be. So yes, last 1 year has been very stressful, and I do interact with a lot of people, students, housewives, and corporate, all three. And it has been extremely difficult for all three and much more. So, so basically, what I understand is of inner strength is that having the stability when you require, when you feel overwhelmed, when you don't know where to go to, when you don't know what action to be taken next. I think at that point of time, having strength, inner strength, is very, very important. Now, it can be done in two ways, or it is done in two ways. One is if you have faith. Faith is you have faith in God, like children have faith in parents. Uh, they will see you through. Then you have faith in some power, some person who can take you through. So you have faith in it. But a lot of people, especially people like me, we sometimes lack that faith. We don't have that true understanding of or true trust in some power that will see us through. My mother-in-law does it immensely well. A lot of people do it really well. They say कि भगवान है, भगवान पे छोड़ दो. अब all the time I'm not able to leave it to Bhagwan. Sometimes I feel really overwhelmed and I don't know how that is going to really pan out if I just leave it to him. uh, if I leave it to someone else, I really don't know how that is going to pan out.
That's
So
a very
I
interesting
being
point that you make. Sorry to interrupt. That's a very interesting
no, no,
point that
not
you
at all.
make. Yeah. Is it blind faith? Is it faith, or is it a matter of convenience? That it's very easy to put circumstances or situations onto somebody and say, yes, there is someone called Bhagwan, and you leave it to Bhagwan. At least for those people who are atheist, will think of it in that manner. But on the other end, when you have people who believe, is it blind faith? So where do you really draw the line?
All right, you don't need to draw a line. It's each one of us are different. It's about inner strength. If you derive your strength out of that faith, great for you. You should have it, because ultimately the point is being stable. So if that gives you stability, if your locus of control is external and you feel that somebody else is more capable of taking away the issues, it's perfectly fine, because that's how you deal with it. We're talking about inner strength and dealing with it. So if you are able to do that, and you can feel safe, that there is some safety, there's a safety net which will not let me fall, it's a great way to have. So faith does not have to be connected to religion. Like I said, children are just, they know that if I fall down, my mom is going to catch me. So they're not scared of falling down. So it is not necessarily almighty. I just took my mother-in-law's example. Uh, it can be anything. Faith, if faith works for you, great. If it doesn't, Now, there is where my problem is, because most of the time, our brains don't let us have that faith. So, say we have issues like my students would have issues like, ma'am, I'm not able to concentrate online. How am I going to get good marks? Okay. Or I've lost my job. How am I going to get another job? Or I am sick of home. I mean, all the time I used to get that amount of space when my children would go to school and my husband would go to office. I I am just stuck at home doing something or the other 24 by 7. I don't want to do this. Let me go out. So what to do in those overwhelming situations? We can't at that point of time depend on faith only. Okay. So I look at it, this is what works for me, and I have been working on a lot of people with this, and it works all the time. I ask them that when such an overwhelming situation comes, figure out, is it under your control, the situation, or not? Most of the time, it's not. Okay. So then the second question to this, if it is not, if it is in your control, good, go ahead, control it. A lot of times we derive answers from that, that yes, it is in our control. I can tell my husband to help. I can do a lot of offline meetings. Okay, I can meet my friends. It's allowed with mask and social distancing. It's possible. So in control. If it's totally out of control, the situation is out of control, how do I cope with the situation? So what we look at that point of time is that what is in our hands? What can we do? This is the situation, it is out of control. So what are the things that are in our control? So let us take an example, otherwise the entire thing will go a little, yeah. So say I don't have a job. Okay, totally out of control. I'm falling short of money. There is, I don't know where to go. Now it's out of control. I don't know when I'm going to get a job. So what is in my control? My control is to get myself better. My control is to network. My control is to apply. My control is to go meet people. Okay. So these are all under my control. So tomorrow morning when I wake up, I don't have to wake up feeling overwhelmed. I wake up feeling that I have these 4 things to do. How am I going to plan my day so that these 4 things can be done? You are just increasing your strength by what is more under your control rather than feeling totally out of control. See, the entire thing cannot be managed, but it definitely can ease out things. So tomorrow morning you have a routine. The next day morning you have a routine. And eventually you will see that with that you're getting confidence, you're getting a strength, and you're even able to, if not find a job, find something better and meaningful to do rather than this entire family and everybody jumping on you and making you feel bad. It works for students too. I'm not able to study online. I have concentration issues. How else can I do it? What is under my control? Do you have books? Do you have PPTs? Does pre-studying help? Because I teach MBA, I'm sorry, BBA and MBA. So they have competitive exams after that. They have job interviews after that. So are you doing things which can be done? So
Sure.
basically this for logical people that, you can look at things that are in your control, work towards them. Sometimes you will need a person to help you. It's not always that you can do it by yourself. But with practice, you can get better and you can definitely find that inner strength in a situation that has happened over the last.
Got it. So what you're really saying is not anything new. At the same time, you're putting it in a very, very simple manner. But I think the reality is that after listening to this session, which our viewers would, it sounds very simple to put to practice. But when the rubber hits the road, there are a lot of things that really stop us from doing or following these simple rules or simple methods or processes that you've said, right? Create a to-do, make it a routine, go follow it. But it becomes very difficult to do that. So when there are things that either act as distractions or demotivators, or you get into a zone where you just don't want to do anything because you're so preoccupied with so many other things that are bothering you rather than taking action, what do you do in those situations?
All right.
Where do you
So,
find inner strength?
Talking to somebody else definitely on this topic who can help you out helps, but you will not find somebody who would be able to help you out. That is one part. Second, the I don't believe that if you want to do something and you're really keen on doing it, the other things like, I'm not able to do it, I'm not able to sit down, is more of and the lack of a good English word, bahanas, excuses that you're making to not do a certain thing. So it's more of not. So I would advise that suggest a better word for it, that you go ahead and write it down. It helps. That what do I want to do? What is in control and what is not in control? So I take a A4 size page and I make a column. Control, not in control. When you start thinking about it and putting it down on paper, it really helps you, categorize what is in control. Now, the second thing is inertia. I don't want.
I was just coming to that, doctor, because see, all of this is very easy to do, right? But at the end of the day, if I still feel very lazy, I get it, right? Logically, all that you're saying makes a lot of sense. Make a 2x2, make a matrix, plot yourself, look at it every morning. Fantastic. At the end of the day, if Sahil generally is a very, very, very lazy person and inertia is at the top of everything that he does, how do you get a person like that out of inertia?
Okay, so we were talking of inner strength. When I'm talking of inner strength, I'm talking of a person who is prepared to be strong. I'm not talking of a person who is lazy. I'm not talking of a person who does not want to come out of inertia. Possibly that's a precursor to the entire thing. I want to get out of the situation. If I don't want to get out of the situation, I don't think there is anything that I have that can help. Possibly, somebody needs to give you a grand big push from the back again, but then you're dependent on somebody else. If I'm talking about myself, if I'm talking about my inner strength, I'm talking about that you should be willing to do it. That's a precursor. I want to do this. I want to make a change. In that, if you talk about inertia, it's not about laziness. It's talk about fear. Like a lot of people in class don't want to talk because they feel that the answer may be incorrect. Okay. So you have to give that a try because you want that inner strength to come in. Otherwise, if you didn't want it, it will not come to you. You will really need to seek out that inner strength. It will not come in a single day. It will come with practice. So every time there is a situation, smallest of situations, I always say, is this in my control? Is this not in my control? Okay, and I sort of practice it all the time saying, okay, if it's not in my control, either I let go or I sit down to see that because I want to make a change. If you don't want to make a change, then nobody can help you. So you really need to, break out of that. You need to want to become strong. So if you want to have muscle, you can't say, I don't want to go to the gym. You have to go to the gym and do the workout yourself and then only build the muscles. Those muscles will come by your strength. It will not come without going to the gym. Nobody can do it for you. So
got it. Lovely, Dr. Banerjee. Thank you so much for putting that precursor out because many times we just get so confused in the whole space of saying, okay, let someone do it, let someone help, and I'll just sit and watch. But thank you so much for joining us and just like that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.